Hi, we continue with our discussions on internal auditing of ISO 9001. We continue with our previous discussions on the common findings or observations by the auditors related to customers and supplier. Previously, we have covered the customer part. Today, we're going to deal with the supplier part. Among common observations include supplier evaluations incomplete, outdated, or performed inconsistently. Second, supplier evaluations subjective or not based on evidence. Now, for an organization, you need to provide quality products or services. In the process of producing your product or delivering services, you need suppliers to deliver to you the materials or equipments so that you can provide your products and services. The qualities of the things supplied by the suppliers will have direct influence to the qualities of your products and services. Therefore, it is important for you to secure good qualities products provided by the suppliers. Now, how do you ensure that? Theoretically, there should be evaluations, allowing you to screen through between good and poor suppliers, so that you always get services or products from good suppliers. So, in the first place, this supplier evaluation process should be present. And then this evaluation system should be functional. Now, how do we define functional evaluation system? In the case that the evaluation is incomplete, or the informations are outdated, or inconsistently performed, this defeats the purpose of doing the evaluations for the suppliers, which are good indicators reflecting that this supplier evaluation system is not functional. Also, some organizations may have the evaluation in place, just that the evaluation criteria is a bit subjective, heavily reliant on the personal perceptions of the evaluator, without explicit definitions in terms of meeting or not being able to meet the requirements. This reflects the second observations here. When the evaluation criteria is too subjective, it might end up you do not get meaningful informations, leading to you difficulty to discriminate between good and poor suppliers. This is also another conditions where the evaluation system is not functional. In order to address this, your evaluation criteria can be a mixture of subjective, perception-based, and also evidence-based, which is more explicit. For example, let's say you are looking into the punctuality of the delivery of the supplier. A subjective evaluation criteria it would be asking the evaluator to indicate the level of agreements over a statement like the suppliers always deliver their products on time. Then the evaluators are asked to rate between 1 to 5 from strongly disagree to strongly agree. This kind of subjective evaluations can lead to different evaluation outcomes by different evaluators over the same suppliers. Alternatively, the same evaluation criteria can be made more objective. For example, you record down the agreed delivery date and then compare with the actual delivery date. Then you make comparisons whether the delivery dates are complied with. In this case, it will be more objective and not subjective, which the poor performers will not be able to run away due to different level of acceptance by the evaluators. By having this, you will ensure that different evaluators will give you the similar evaluating outcome. Now let us repeat. In terms of the observations on the supplier side, first, there should be evaluations for the supplier. Second, the evaluation should be functional and meaningful. And then third, having the evaluation system in place will analyze, reflecting actual situations. What are your subsequent actions remain critical. You cannot disregard your evaluation output without any responsive actions over the findings of the good and poor suppliers. For good suppliers, you have no issues. Very likely you will continue acquire your supplies from them. As for the poor supplier, there should be actions either to rectify that or to monitor them or stop acquiring supply from them. There should be some actions over that. Of course, in a lot of practical cases, there may be other constraints. For example, certain product, their sole distributors is the supplier, and just happen that this supplier found to be poor in terms of the services. Theoretically, there should be responsive actions to address that, either seeking for alternatives or providing feedbacks to the relevant suppliers, getting them to improve their services, or changing another personnel to service your organizations. Now, what do you see here? Is that if you see the observation here, it is as if we are looking into the presence or absence of certain system. And this is commonly misunderstood by most of the people, that ISO is looking into the presence or absence of the system. When these are written in terms of the observations, it is because it is well evident. However, what's behind the rationales of having this highlighted is more towards how do you respond over the findings of those, whether the level of satisfactions of your customers don't just get the data, as well as the level of satisfactions over your supplier. Don't just collect the data. It is not about the presence or absence of the system. It is about how do you use the system towards improving the qualities of your products and services. Ultimately, this is what the auditors are looking for.